So we are here defending Judas. We know who is Judas was. Judas Iscariot was among the 12 disciples of Jesus. And we are going to look at few things, all 5 points, that may liberate Judas from what we call as a bad person. Judas was not a bad person as we thought. He was unnecessary and an important person. So let's dive down. We are going to look at three aspects. One is morality, freedom, and betrayal. The betrayal of Jesus was very necessary because without betrayal, there would be no crucifixion, there would be no redemption. So let us look at the four major events that led to redemption or resurrection of Jesus. It was very necessary. One is the betrayal, the arrest, crucifixion. You can also add condemnation, and later on there is the resurrection. Without these four events, there would be no something like called Christianity. Christianity would be dead. There is nothing like that, because it is through these events that Christianity is born. I will tell you later about it. So, the question that I ask, was Judas evil? I don't think he was evil. He was just a man who was trying to be on a mission to try new things. The tragic mission. Jesus was on a mission to liberate the world, as Christians teach us, as Christianity teaches. So Judas was just a casualty. Let us look at the second point, that is predestination versus free will. It is said that it was prophesied that Judas would have betrayed Jesus. So you ask yourself, if it was prophesied, did Judas act out of free will? Was Judas free? If it was predestined, and if he chose not to betray Jesus, would that mission do you think that mission would have failed? Of course it would have failed, because Judas was not free. So if God oversaw, or God the Father oversaw the killing of his son, then we think that there is no free will. Free will is just an illusion. The second point is the tragic disciple. Judas is regarded to be a person who followed Jesus. He witnessed the miracles wherever they went, and he was among the inner circle. There is an episode in the gospel where Judas is said to have told Jesus that they would have sold that oil and gotten some money, and probably they would have bought food or give it to the poor. And Jesus told him that the poor, you are always with them. So I think Judas was just an investor or somebody of sort. Anyway, he liked exploring new things. Then let us look to at the fourth point, which we have written as the fifth. Basically, they are not five; they are just three. They are just four. So there is this remorse and moral awareness. After the betrayal of Judas, or Judas selling Jesus, that is silvers, so he regrets. We see him regretting his actions, and later on, of course, he returns the silver coins that he had sold Jesus, or he had bargained, and this triggers something in the mind of Judas, and Judas recognizes his failure as a person, just like we fail, and therefore he was remorseful. He became aware of his action. I think Judas, as people call him, I think as many people want to venerate these people, I think Judas should be made a saint in in the church is a patron saint of desperate people. I think Judas falls in that. He should be canonized and be told that he is a patron saint. His only mistake is that he betrayed Jesus, and we want to make him carry all the cross, forgetting that there are people like Peter who denied Jesus, there is Thomas who doubted, and all that sort of people. So my thoughts is that it was necessary for Judas to do what he did, and there is no betrayal, no salvation. Betrayal was necessary. It was very, very necessary uh, for Jesus to be betrayed, because it brought good things. As Christians would say that it brought salvation for them. Actually, without Judas, there would be no the economy of salvation would not be complete. The economy of salvation is what we say that it is from Genesis, God finding his people, to all the way to the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So, without that part of Judas, the economy of salvation would not be complete. So, we say that God the Father is responsible for all this betrayal. So, stop blaming Judas for his action. He was just a man on a mission who tried to fix his life.